our next storyteller is an amazing vessel. She's our holy clown. She is Cassandra, although Rivka might be in contention for that now. But Cassandra came in with a lot of experience too. Experience with improv theater, with interplay, with music, and the ability to bring all of that in. And as she said this morning when she gave her Devar Torah, you should hear the 90% that I left out, right? And it's kind of the same with storytelling. Cassandra has the amazing creative ability to feel the connection of everything in the universe. I too can feel this because I have ADD, but Cassandra, because she's extremely creative, it all comes in at once. It all comes in. And what she has learned in giving Devar Torahs and also in storytelling is to leave the other 90% out, because when she focuses in on a 10%, she is an extremely powerful holy clown. And I give you Cassandra Sagan.
So I think maybe before I was born, the Holy One showed Bruce me, and I had ADD, and Bruce said, "Oh, please let me have it." Thank you, honey.
You owe him.
She's paid her dues.
Okay. On the fourth day of creation, just about supper time, the Holy One of Blessing put two great lights in the sky. But before the sentence finished, one light was diminished. The sages of Babylon tell this story to show you why. So, Elohim created two great luminaries, the greater to rule the day, and the lesser to rule the night. Well, this is a story from the Babylonian Talmud about what happened in the middle of that sentence. The moon went to see the Holy One of Blessing, and he was bent over his potter's wheel at the edge of Eden. And she said, "Excuse me, I know you're busy creating the universe, but can I ask you a question?" And the Holy One looked up, and he got all gaga-eyed because the moon still had that round, naked, sensuous, pre-serpent Eve kind of thing going on. And he said, "Darling, for you, anything. Yep, go ahead. You can ask. You can always come to me with your questions." And the moon said, "Okay, well, I know that I was born yesterday. But I'm wondering, what's your vision? How's this going to work for two great rulers to share one crown?" And the Holy One said, "You make a good point. So I want you to diminish yourself, make yourself small, and you can rule the night, and the sun will rule the day." The moon said, "Whoa, wait a minute. I came here with a really good question I'm getting punished for asking? You want me to shrink myself down and not serve the purpose that I was created for? I mean, no disrespect, but I'm not going to do it." And the Holy One put out his palm to the heavens, and in a gesture that would become encoded in our blood, he went like this. Oi, 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 my silver matzah impossible. I create with my words. That's what I do. It's already happened. But if it's any comfort, you look fantastic. Well, there are plenty of women out there who might really like being shrunk down to a mere shadow of their former self. But the moon wasn't one of them. I can't go out looking like this. And now I'm starting to wane. The Holy One said, oh, look, don't worry, we're going to work this out. You can rule the night and the day. And the moon said, what good is a lamp in the middle of the day? The Holy One said, look, you'll be the queen of mystery, the mistress of the unconscious, of dreams and visions and prophecy. You'll be like a big pizza pie in the sky. And lovers will gaze into your face and write poetry. Well, that kind of sounded good to the moon, but she was not about to give in. She just said, humph. The Holy One said, the first mitzvah that I'm going to give the people will be a lunar calendar. And you will be in charge of all the festivals. Think of it, Sukkot, Passover, Rosh Chodesh, food, family, fun, freely flowing, Shlivovitz. Sounds pretty good, huh? She said, yeah, that sounds pretty good, but it's no compensation for totally shrinking me down. The Holy One said, well, we can, here's what I'm going to do. Come here. Okay, I'm going to fill the sky with dazzling stars to adorn you like jewels. And they'll sing you songs and tell you stories and keep you company. She said, I'm sure I'm going to enjoy the bling. But, oh my God, is it my time of month? You better go create chocolate. At this point, the Holy One knew that he was grasping at straws. He said, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to name some of my favorite sages after you. There's going to be little Jacob, because he's smaller than his brother Esau. And little David, he was the smallest of his 7 brothers, and there'll be little Shmuel. Eventually we'll have little John Stewart. And the moon said, oh my God, I really hope you're joking, because if you think human men are going to enjoy being called little anything, I mean, no offense, but I am starting to wonder if you've gotten anything else wrong. And at this point, the Holy One of Blessing realized that the moon would not be appeased. And so he asks that we make atonement for his mistake in shrinking down the moon. Now, back in the temple days, they used to slaughter a ram every month as a sacrifice, as a sin offering to make atonement for the Holy One's mistake in diminishing the moon. So I thought it'd be really fun if we sacrificed a ram tonight. But then I heard Donna's Devar on Friday night, and I realized that we no longer make sacrifices. Instead, our sacrifices have been replaced by prayers. And it turns out that there is a prayer each month. It's kind of a ceremony, really, and it's little known outside of the Orthodox world, called Kiddush Levana, where there's a blessing and an offering for the moon. And so it just so happens that the perfect ideal time to say, there's about an 11-day window, but the perfect ideal time to do this blessing happens to be tonight, a few days after the new moon, after Shabbos, after Havdalah. So you can imagine that all over the world, there's Jews and they're outside literally jumping up and down, singing and dancing, praising God, and And then they do this prayer. And the prayer is based on a prophecy from Isaiah that in the time of Mashiach, in the time when the earth is completely sanctified and healed, that the moon will be returned to her original size. And the feminine divine and the masculine divine will once again be equal and balanced. And at the end of the blessing, they turn to each other, and I'll say, Shalom Aleichem, and you'll say, okay. May it be your will that the floor be filled and the moon restored to her original dimension. Bless us with your peace, and may our light increase as we head in your direction. Shalom Aleichem.
Alechem shalom.
Alechem shalom. Shalom Aleichem. Now turn to each other and you say, Shalom Aleichem. Alechem shalom. Alechem shalom, shalom Alechem. And Rabbi Yochanan said that anyone who has blessed the moon is if she has greeted the Shekhinah herself. And so I want to bless all of you to never allow yourself to be diminished and to never underestimate the power of the feminine divine.
Would you all agree that Cassandra has not been diminished and is full of the power of the feminine divine? Thank you, Cassandra.